Oh, let me go to my message. I'm preaching on fortification, academic and professional fortification. I know this title, fortification, to me, is more of a prayer title than a teaching title. And if time permits me, we'll turn this place to a prayer ground now. But let me teach so that some people will not be offended among the students. After I finish teaching them, we will now pray. Because fortification itself is a military language. It's more of a military language where you talk of fortified city. And you have heard severally from several people who have spoken that to fortify means to strengthen. To add things that will make a particular material stronger. You have heard all these definitions. So the reason why we are seated under this roof is because we are sure that whatever is holding this roof is well fortified. These pillars are strong enough. That's why it was raining and we're not disturbed. We're just doing our service. In some churches, we're under canopy. And if it's raining, you are running helter-skelter. Because the canopy is not rightly fortified. We went for a village outreach last year. And this pastor was with me at that village outreach. And then when we got to where they gave us to use as the crusade ground, that crusade ground was the place where they used to use for their festivals, when they are doing their festivals in that village. So say, let's go ahead, Dejari, and do our own outreach. Jesus is more powerful than the devil. And the moment we started the outreach like this, some group of boys came, just 3 meters away from where we are, just between here and that place. They just gathered some material and they started burning fire. As we're singing praise and worship, they were burning their own fire. So we're singing more, they were burning their own fire. We didn't know the plan they had for us. So when it was time to now start the video show, we did all the prayers we needed to do. And it was now that time to start crusade. The video show that will now that will lead us into the crusade. That was how this terrible wind started blowing. Wind from anywhere was blowing everywhere. We said we are not leaving. The wind now came to the projector, the screen we're using. And the screen was fortified with some small stones, like we always do, small stones put around it. But the challenge of that day was bigger than stone. So when the wind came like this, it fell the screen. We asked brothers to bring it up. They brought it up, it fell it again. So this one was a serious one. So we now called 4 brothers to be taking turns. They were holding the pillar. People were watching film. But brothers were holding pillars like this. 2 people will hold this pillar. Other 2 people will hold this pillar. After 30 minutes, they will change. Because for whatever time you leave that pillar, it will not be well fortified, and that attack will fall it. Is it that the prayers we have prayed did not work? Yes, it worked. But we still needed to do that to make the answers of our prayer visible to people. So fortification means strengthening. You put more strength. So when you are building, they fortify. You want to do the decking, they put iron rod inside it to make it stronger. I've seen some buildings, I don't know if you have seen any of them, that they build with planks, and then they cover with cement. And before you know it, it will cave in, because it's not well fortified. I know the extent to which you are fortified is what determines the extent to which you are usable. The extent to which you are usable is what determines the extent to which you are rewarded. The extent to which you are fortified determines the extent to which you are usable. And the extent to which you are usable is what determines the extent to which you are rewarded. So a man needs to be well fortified so that he can be well usable, so that he can be well rewarded. The problem we have with this generation, people want to be highly rewarded, but they don't want to be well fortified. And that's where the challenge is. There are 2 periods of fortification in life for everybody. 2 periods of fortification. The first period of fortification is to prepare you ahead of the challenge. To prepare you ahead. Everybody say ahead. So no problem in sight, no challenge in sight, but God is fortifying you. So there are some people here that you have not seen anything in life. This camp meeting is just to prepare you for the future. Preparing you ahead of the challenge. So when they are building this building, Before they start building, they say, let us enforce it. So they say this one is going to be 3-story building. Let's use 18 mm. Is it mm or cm? Iron rod. 18 mm iron rod or 24 mm iron rod. And they are reinforcing. There's no problem outside too, but they are reinforcing. The second period of fortification is the one you do when there is challenge. And you now discover that the former fortification you have done is not enough to carry the challenge. There is now challenge. You are now seeing that, no, I have not prepared enough. So you see some house that want to collapse, or the house will just open. And they will now use cement and just patch it. They are managing it. It's always better to fortify yourself ever before the challenge comes than when you start repairing it. I pray for you. The fortification your destiny needs for the next phase God is taking you to in this camp meeting, heaven will release it to you in the name of Jesus. So every man needs to be rightly fortified. And I'm talking about academics fortification and professional fortification. I just marked it. You pick your own. If your own is academics, you pick. If your own is professional, you pick. There are 2 types of fortification in life. 2 types. The first one is the one I call the demonic fortification. Demonic fortification. Everybody say demonic fortification. You see people preparing themselves. They are fortifying themselves for the future, but they are not doing it the right way. They are doing it the wrong way. It's called demonic fortification. When I was writing my WAEC so many years ago, one of the students in class that did not know mathematics went to meet a white garment person that wants to pass WAEC once and for all, but didn't know mathematics. The man asked him to pay some money and asked him to come back in some days later. And when he went back, they gave him a bottle. That bottle, how they did it up to today, I don't understand. One small bottle with small mouth. But inside that bottle, you see a cross inside the bottle. How the cross entered the bottle, I don't know. Inside the bottle, you see egg that is not broken, raw egg. And there's now whiskey inside the bottle. So they say every morning before he goes to the examination hall, he will take a shot of the whiskey. Thank you. Every morning before he goes to the examination hall, he will take a shot of the whiskey to go to the examination hall. You know what happened? Because this guy was not drinking before. We just discovered that he started sleeping during the examination. Every time he gets to the, before the paper is halfway, he has dozed off, he has slept. They will go and wake him up, you know. They asked him to take a shot. But because the guy was not a drunkard, he didn't know what a shot is. Maybe it's a shot of the cover or something. So the guy will now take a glass cup and fill it up and enjoy the thing. By the time 3 hours later, he is dozing off. Demonic fortification. And I'm sure you have seen people who gather all manner of things around themselves. You can tie one red cloth here, tie another thing here, tie another thing here, and that thing gives them an assurance that there is safety. But it's a deceptive assurance. Because one of our scriptures says, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runs into it and he is safe. The only sure and strong tower is the name of the Lord. Every other thing is a counterfeit. So they tie the thing around, but it's deceptive. And you know so many Christians are bothered about such fortification. When you have the name of the Lord and somebody is carrying such things around, you are scared. You know, a believer is going like this. And somebody is coming this way. He has a marijuana front here. He has a cowrie here. He has one red thing here. And the believer is running for, he said, you carry what is stronger, but you don't know. Demonic fortification is always a deceptive fortification. But most people trust that fortification more than the fortification of the Lord. Dr. Luke was talking about someone who was going for an interview to go and get a job. So this person was going to an interview and they want to give the job to several persons as in a contract. So every time before he leaves the house, there's one thing he will put on his tongue. There's another one he will use to rub the face. There's another one he will make incantation to. There's another one he will tie around his waist. Just to go and get a job, get a contract. And a believer wants to go and get the same contract. He will even wake up, he will not pray. He will not tell his pastor, I'm going for a contract to pray with me. He's feeling proud. The pastor lay badra, he not lay badra. The other one has consulted 5 babalawos and is rightly fortified. This is a believer who does not know how to pray. In night vigil, you say he should pray, he will be dozing. Morning devotion, he will not pray. He's going for contract, he will not pray. So somebody who has a demonic fortification is stronger than him who has the Spirit of the Lord, because he's not rightly fortified. So the first one is demonic fortification, and it's so deceptive. It's everywhere. It's among students. It's among almost everybody you see. And the second one is the godly fortification. Godly fortification. Godly fortification. The demonic fortification is deceptive. Godly fortification is the real fortification. And this godly fortification will be in 2 parts. If God is going to fortify you, there are things God will do for you, but there are things you need to do for yourself. And if you have not done those things you need to do for yourself, the fortification that God will fortify you will not be evident, because you have not done what you are supposed to do for yourself. For everything a man is trusting God for, everything you want God to do in your life, every testimony you want to receive, there's always something for God to do, and there's something for man to do. Everything a man is trusting God for, there's something for God to do, there's something for man to do. What God should do, only God can do. Man cannot do. What man should do, God also can do, but God will not do. But what God can do, God will not do until man does what man should do. Should I say that again? For everything you are trusting God for, there's always something for God to do, and there's something for man to do. That is, there's God's part and there's man's part. God's part, only God can do. Man cannot do. Man's part, God can do and man can do. But what God needs to do, God will not do until man has done what he needs to do. Let me make it simpler for you. When Jesus got to the tomb of Lazarus, he saw all of them crying. He said, what do you want? They say, Lazarus, he has died, he has died, he has died, he has died. Lazarus has died. He said, I said, what do you want? They say, I want you to raise him. He said, okay, that one is a simple thing. He told them, roll away the stone. Can God roll away the stone? I didn't hear your voice. Can God roll away the stone? Yes. Can man roll away the stone? So that is what man should do, but God also can do. Can God raise Lazarus dead? Yes. Can man raise Lazarus dead? No. That is what God should do, and man cannot do. But God will not do what God should do until when man has done what man should do. So Jesus looked at them and said, roll away the stone. Because that is what man should do. If they decide not to roll away the stone, Lazarus will be there for years. And God will not raise Lazarus, because man has not done what he needs to do. For academic fortification, for professional fortification, there's always what man needs to do. Pray from now till tomorrow. Until you have done what man needs to do, nothing can happen. So a student wants to pass exam, and he's praying, and he's not studying. Will he pass? Okay, let me ask you this way. If I take a student, if I go to my village, inside Ibadan, interior, I go to the farm, and I go to bring a teenager who has not gone to school for one day of his life. He doesn't know how to use the bottom of bottle to write 0. If he did go call, he cannot write anything. And I'll bring him to Lagos. And I asked all the powerful men of God in Nigeria to anoint oil. Pastor Adeboye anoint oil. Pastor Komoye anoint the same oil. Pastor Udepo anoint oil. Pastor Lukoye anoint oil. All of them now anoint the oil. And now pour the oil on the boy. On the morning of WAEC, mathematics, I poured the anointing oil on the boy. I said, this is anointing oil, anointed by all the men of God. And I asked the boy to go and write mathematics, WAEC. What will he get? Pastor Lamde mentioned 1 degree that time, G10. Does it mean the prayer has not worked? The prayer has worked. But to make the prayer that has worked manifest, there is something that a man needs to do. The problem we have with Christianity today is that we have so many people who are depending on God to do not only what God can do, but also to do what man needs to do. So we are handing everything over to God. Say, hand it over to God. All to Jesus I surrender. He said, Lord, I don't want to do anything. Just do everything. God says it does not work like that. You need to do your own before I do my own. Do your own before I do. Tell your neighbor, are you handing everything over to God? Tell him it's good, though. Tell him it's good, though. But tell him, please do your part first. Do your part first. There's always a part for you to do. Everybody I've seen who has suffered in life, who is a true believer, their problem is not doing the part they should do. Everybody I've seen who knows how to pray and are suffering, their problem is there is something they still need to do. And no matter how much they pray, until they do that single thing they need to do, it doesn't work. It's like standing in front of a door and you don't have the key to the door. And Pastor Lamde says, okay, I want to go and bring something from my office. The key is inside my car. First go inside the car and take the key to my office, then go to my office. And you run to the front of the door and say, oh Lord, my Father, you know how urgent Pastor Lamide needs this thing. The time it will take me to go to the car and come back is too much. Lord, you are a miracle working God. You can do everything. Do your miracle and open this door. Will the door open? No. Why will it not open? This is where the key is. Go and take the key. So many believers are at this stage. They want God to do every single thing. Every single thing. He wants to write WAEC. He is not reading, but he wants God to make him pass. Sister Ronke said he wants to travel abroad. And they are praying we should go abroad to go and do passport. He is not ready to do. But he's still praying. What is the essence of the prayer? 0. Tell your neighbor, stop deceiving yourself now. Sometimes we make it look as if God does not want to answer our prayer. By the things we do. We make it look as if God is not willing to answer our prayer. And we are the one who is not willing to do what we need to do. Lord, and I've been praying for you since all of these years, and you have not answered this thing. Lord, please now, all my friends, they know I'm going to church. That is being sentimental. God is not a sentimental God. You can be sentimental to Sister Ronke and say, sentimental to Pastor Ronke. Mama, please now. Sure you know now. Sure you know now. And even if she doesn't want to do it, she can pity you. But you cannot be sentimental to God, though. God will say, do what you need to do. Somebody was praying one day. Said, God, I want to eat jollof rice. I want to eat jollof rice. I want to eat jollof rice. And then somebody just called him. And said, where are you? Say, I'm in the house. Say, I'm just passing in front of your house. Oh. True life story. I'm just passing in front of your house. Oh. I said, hey, I'm at home now. The person entered. He said, I just said I should come and greet you. And as the person was leaving, he said, the last place I went to minister, they gave me one small bag of rice like that, too. Like 16 kg bag of rice. Do you want it? I said, I want it. Then he said, come and get it. He carried the rice. Lord, I want to eat jollof rice. Thank you, you have provided rice. You are going to provide every other thing. You are going to provide every other thing. And in a miraculous way, pepper came. Maggi came. everything came. No, this guy still knelt down. True life story. He was testing anointing on himself. He said, God, what I ask for is jollof rice. It's not raw rice I ask. You said what we ask you will do. What I ask for is jollof rice. Lord, jollof rice. Lord, jollof rice. Lord, jollof. If you are God, what will you say about that person? You will say what? You will say I should go and cook. You will be a nice God. If I am that God, thank you. You will be a nice God if you say I should go and cook it. If it is me, I won't say I should go and cook it. I will send armed robber to his house. They will come in through the window, beat him very well, and take all of the things, rice, pepper, and everything, and take it away. Because he is not willing to do what he needs to do. And we get deceived so many times by believing that just praying can do everything. When we're in Orelokpe, there's a woman who had two daughters, two ladies, and they wanted to write the exam the following day. And this woman brought these ladies to me and said that they want to write the exam. They are writing, UME, that I should pray for my daughters. They're writing the exam. So I said they should bring them, they should come. And when those ladies came, they said, you are writing the exam? They said, yes. I said, okay, let us pray. They said, wait, we are coming. So two of them ran out, and they came back. And when they came back, they brought biro, pencil, mathematical sets. So I said, what is this for? They said, so that we can pray on top. I said, so if I pray on this biro now, and on this pencil and mathematical set, and you get to the examination all tomorrow, and without touching the biro stands up and it starts writing, will you sit down there? What needs prayer? Your brain that has read, not the biro. There are people who deceive us because they know what you want to hear. So they will deceive you. But in this church, we don't deceive. We tell you the reality. There is something for man to do. Thank God this is camp meeting and we are big, like we are much like this. If they organize training for employers and employees, some people who are here today will not be here for that training because they feel they need prayer, but they don't need training. So ask yourself, am I ready to do what I need to do so that God can do what he needs to do? So let's start with the workers. So you're a professional. What are the things you need to do to be fortified for the challenges ahead or for the glory ahead? You are fortified for two things. You are fortified for challenges and you are fortified for glory. Fortified for challenges. God sees the challenges that are coming ahead of your destiny and it gives you enough security around that challenges. In Yoruba land, when a man wants to go to war, he prepares himself ahead of that war. They call it, he's preparing for battle. Ondiraugu. So when I saw the topic of this camp meeting, one of the prayers I prayed is, Emimo diraugu for me. Emimo shekini diraugu for me. Prepare me ahead for the challenges ahead. Then the second one is, Emimo diraugu for me. Holy Spirit, prepare me ahead for the glory that is coming. Because glory needs to be prepared for. There's a glory that comes to a man's life that if he's not prepared for that glory, the weight of the glory can break him. Because he's not prepared for it. So I told in my church some time ago, I said, this is a new tenure. Tinubu's tenure. So if I get a call from the president that recommend somebody from your church that will be special assistant to the president on the field where you are working, on your field. What's your field? Somebody mention your field. Aviation. Education. Recommend somebody who can be a minister of education or a special assistant to the president on education matters. I ask them, can I recommend you? And my mind will be at rest. Not that you will steal money, but can I recommend you? I know that when you get there and you begin to talk, they will not say, Oshima Loganso. This guy is just saying rubbish. But they won't say it in your presence. They will say it in your absence. And if some people are bold, they will say it in your presence. So ask yourself, if that weight of glory comes upon your life, do you have what it takes to withstand it? If God decide that you will become the president of World Bank tomorrow, the president of World Bank, how long will you stand? Can you stay as the president of World Bank if you're in the banking industry and talk to governors of central bank from so many countries and they will respect what you are saying? If you are not yet at that level, you are not yet there. You have not yet prepared. Fortified for glory. It's not just fortified for battle alone. Because the weight of glory can crumble you. Because it's more than you can withstand. And the Bible says God will not test us more than what we can afford. That's the temptation, that God will not test you. He knows your level and he will keep you at that level. You are praying for increase. Lord, increase me. God says, no, I can't increase it beyond this level. Because if I increase it beyond this level, it's rubbish will go and say. They say, the economic situation of Kenya is very bad now. Please, World Bank, what can you say about it? Say, tell them to be selling guguru and epa now. Tell the women to be selling guguru and epa. Let them be making food. Let Ampoli. And they'll be looking at you and say. So you are not only prepared or fortified for battle, you are also fortified for glory. And in whatever field you are, until you get to a level where in that field you can stand before anybody and talk, you are not ready for the greatest level, the highest peak in that field, whatever field you are. That you can stand before anybody and talk. I know that Pastor Mrs. Ronke can stand before anybody and talk about education. Even if you are the minister of education, she will stand before you and talk. Now ask, if you are the person, can you talk? One day I called my keyboardist in church. Where is the keyboardist here? Can somebody be on the keyboard? He has gone on break. Just be on the keyboard. Just run your hand on something for me for 5 seconds. Everybody, look at you. Run your hand on that keyboard for 5 seconds. Okay, just play something. I'm not feel like what he just did now. It makes sense. So I asked my keyboardist. I said, who is the best keyboardist in Nigeria? He mentioned one name I've not heard before. I said, who is the best keyboardist in Africa? He mentioned one name I've not heard before. I said, who is the best keyboardist in the world? He mentioned one name I've not heard before. I said, if those 3 people are seated down, and I ask you to run your hands like that, can you still run it with the same confidence you run it now? And he couldn't answer me. I said, but you know me, I didn't know anything. If you ask me to press, all this one that he has done now, that's what he has done now is the 8th wonder of the world to me. Because I can't do it. Ask me to press anything, I will misbehave. No, the way he's pressing it, and everybody is dancing. If I press this keyboard for you now, during praise and worship, Holy Spirit will stroll away out of the service. I will come back after I leave the place because I'll press rubbish. But he has performed wonders to us. If the biggest person, the greatest name in your industry is seated, can you still do something? If you can't do something, you are not yet fortified to the extent that God is wanting to take you to. So let's not start from the biggest name in your industry. Let's start from the biggest name in your organization there. Your CEO. Can your CEO sit? And then you will talk and it will make sense. No, there are some stars, when they talk, they just say, Kilele so. And we don't. Don't sit down, Jerry. But they won't say it like that, though. They will just say noted. So that you won't embarrass her. Just say noted. Because if you are going to reply to her, you won't know what to say. Just say noted. Because he has said rubbish. He's not yet fortified at that level. Fortification. So, professional fortification. Number 1, you want to be fortified professionally. 1, know what your job description is. Know what your job description is. Every employee of labor has what is called job description. Job descriptions are the things you are employed to do in that office, understand what that job description is. It's so sad to know that when people are looking for work, they are crying, if you give me this work, I will do it. I will make you happy. I'll not disappoint you. And when you employ them, you give them the job description. Most times they don't read it. By the time they start work, and you ask them to do the work they are employed to do, they begin to complain. Those people are not even considerate. They are just giving us work anyhow. You know what? One day, I asked one of my staff to do something. He said, Oga, this is work. I said, when you left home, what did you tell them you were coming to do? You told them you were coming to work now. He said, this is work. I said, is it play I should give you to play? Understand what your job description is. Once you are employed in a particular place, the first thing you want to know is what am I employed to do here? All the things you are required to do. Can I tell you the truth? Most times, in most offices, your job description is far more than what they ask you to do. By the time they ask you to do every single thing on your job description, you know that you have really come to work. What am I required to do in this place? It's not just to come and give testimony that I have gotten job. Look at the job description and ask yourself, can I really fulfill the expectations of the people who want to pay me money? Nobody is giving out money free of charge. Employers on labor, they are paying you for a service you are rendering. And for as long as you are rendering that service, they will be good persons to you. But the moment you can no longer render that service because you feel that the service is too much, the best thing is to leave the place and not start complaining. The moment you start complaining, you are becoming an ingrate for somebody who is feeding you. Nobody is willing to give free money out. I want to employ somebody. I said, how much do you want to collect? He mentioned one amount of money. I said, that amount of money, if I give you the work you need to do to collect that kind of work, will you stay in this organization? You want to collect that much, it's no problem to me. But if I give you work to do that is commensurate with what you like to call, no, people always complain that they are not paying them well. They are not paying us well. But if they are not working well, they will not complain, no. If there is no work to do, they will not complain, no. But when they feel that, it's not that they are not paying them well, it's that the money they are collecting now is no longer enough for their needs. When somebody gets a job, he gets a salary, he's excited at that money. They want to pay me 200,000 naira every month. 200,000 every month. At that time, 200,000 naira looked so much to him because he doesn't have 10,000 naira regular income. If you pay that 200,000 naira for the first month, it settles bill. Second month settles bill. By the sixth month, that 200,000 naira does not make sense to her again. Because now the needs are now bigger than the money she's collecting. She will not go and say, Oga, please increase the work I am doing so that you can increase my salary. Is that what she will go and say? No, you say, I've been in this organization for so long, Oga, now. I've worked with you for 5 solid years. Oga, you should increase my salary if you are not wicked. Is it the time of staying in a place they used to increase salary? Which organizations pay more because somebody has stayed longer in the organization? So understand your job description and tell yourself, this is what I am employed to do. And never for once fail at it. If you are doing that, you are fortifying yourself so that God himself can fortify you in that organization. Number 2, deliver excellent service. After you understand what you are employed to do, or what you need to do as a service person, deliver excellent service. There's one trend I've noticed in Christianity today, that most people, most workers among Christendom are poor workers. They hardly deliver excellent service because nobody is putting them under pressure to deliver excellent service. Pastors manage whatever they give. My church was to do its chartering about a month ago, and we wanted to do a partitioning for our sound people. Wanted to enlarge the place. So we called people to bring in their quotation. And two persons brought their quotation. One a Christian, one a Muslim. And then the Christian's quotation was like a 450. The Muslim quotation was like 350. So I told the church council, I said, this is a Christian organization. We cannot fund this kind of person. Let's give it to this our Christian brother. But we'll tell him, we'll negotiate the price to come down. So we negotiated the price and he agreed. The chartering was in 2 weeks' time. We gave him this Sunday. 2 Sundays, 2 weeks later was the chartering. The first week of that chartering, the next day we gave him the money was the Salau holiday. This one they used to kill ram. We gave him on Sunday. The next day was that holiday. So he said he went for holiday Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday we didn't see him. What happened? He said he's fabricating the things. So that when he just come, he will just come and assemble. It looks nice to us. Friday we didn't see him. Saturday, I say if I don't see that thing there tomorrow, I will use police and arrest you. He said, Pastor, before you get there 7 a.m. tomorrow, he said what he needs to do is not up to 2 hours. It's just to assemble. You know. And we got to service on Sunday. Believe you me, the place was how it was when we left. His name is Isaac Josiah. Christian name, Christian surname. I'm sure his middle name too will be Christian. So I said, this program is next week Sunday now. You must do something. Say, Pastor, you know what happened? Something happened. I don't want to tell you. I don't want to bother you. Don't worry, Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, he did not do anything. He has collected money in full. Gave him money in full. On Thursday, I called him from morning till night. Over 40 times. He did not pick my call. At 10:30, I sent him a text message. I said, if by Sunday, that thing is not erected in that place, I will make sure that you spend at least 3 months in jail. They will not try your case. Immediately the text landed. Somebody called back, and it was a woman's voice. He said, are you pastor? I said, yes. He said, sorry, my husband lost his mother this afternoon, and he has traveled to go and bury. I said, so if your husband lost his mother, what are you doing in Lagos and you have not traveled with him? Number one. Number two, what is his phone doing in your hand? Should he not have his phone? I said, I know your husband is listening to me. He will spend 4 months in jail. They will not try his case. They say, okay, Pastor, but if you don't believe me, I'm just saying the truth. I cut the phone. Because of that threat, he came on that the next day, Friday, and did half of the work and called me and said, Pastor, the money is not everything has increased in the market too. I said, you don't know when I gave you the money. You say everything has increased now. I gave you the money, use and buy ram to do Ileya. That's a Christian. He's a Christian with a Christian name. Deliver excellent service. If you learn how to deliver excellent service, irrespective of what your boss pays you, God will pay you to balance the rest if you deliver excellent service. If your boss is paying you this kind of money and you are delivering at this level, God looks at your boss if he can afford it. God tells him to increase it because you are delivering service. If your boss is down, he says, no, I won't increase, he's arguing with God, God will have no problem. God will raise other people from somewhere that will be paying you extra for what you are delivering. And he will raise people who are now looking at you from afar and say, this person, we can bring him to our organization and pay him like triple of what we are paying him before because of the excellent service. So by the time you want to leave that place, God will open doors that you will get times 4 times 5 for what they are paying you because of excellent service. So say, how much are they paying yourself? It's not about how much they are paying you. It's about what service you are rendering. Excellent service. Ask yourself, what kind of service am I rendering in the place where I am employed to work? Can my service be called excellent service? I have somebody that said he was going to repair something for me. He was saying like 2 weeks ago, he said, this pastor is a man of God. If he should arrest me, he should have arrested me long ago. He said, Pastor, I'm praying that I don't offend him again. Because like 2-3 years ago, the ceiling fan in my children's room was not working again. And one in one of our offices was not working. So I called him to come and check if it was a minor thing. There's one small thing they changed at the mark of the ceiling fan. Capacitor. So I felt it was capacitor. So I called him to come and check. So he checked. He said, Pastor, it's not capacitor, it's coil. He said that time, he said coil is 6,000 naira. I said, how much is fan itself now? He said fan is 12,000 or 18,000 that time. So let's go buy another one. He said, don't buy another one. It's just coil. I'll put a new coil there. So he took the two fans, and I gave him 12,000 naira. First week, second week, third week, fourth week, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. This is 4th year going. Both the fan and the coil we have not seen, and the money we have not seen. I need to go and buy another fan in my children's room. And each time you see him, Pastor, coil is scarce gone. That coil is very scarce. I have gone to Osho, the arena. I have not found. I'm looking for one day that we go to Alaba. Up till now. And you know, he gave me sopo and I drank it. I didn't know. Me, I was trusting him. Because he's a Christian brother. He's the choir director of their church. So, there was another time. One of our tanks in the house was leaking. The reservoir tank was leaking. So I called him to come and do it. He said, Pastor, don't repair that one, Jare. It will take a long time. He can give me another one. I said, is it a new one? He said, it's just like new. The man just bought it for those who are working on his site. And after they finished working in 2 weeks, he didn't use it again. He said, I should just come and carry it. I said, well, but for the main time that this one is leaking, bring it, I will just use it. And I paid him more for it. The day I paid him, there was no light. He fixed it. When they brought light, and we pumped water, the one he took away was better. The one he took away was better than the one that was there. As in that one that he took away is a mercy drops round us are falling. This one that he brought is learn to deliver excellent service. Excellent service. I called him to come back and fix it. Say, Pastor, show Johnny, He said, Boya, he said, the force, maybe it's the force at which you pump water. I said, what force can pump water and break tank? He's a Christian brother. What force can pump water and break tank? Come and repair it. In fact, bring the one you have taken away. You say, since I said I didn't need it again, he has sold it. Just second day. He's a Christian brother. I wonder the pastor who is pastoring Christians today, who is not telling them that you can go to hell by not rendering excellent service. Go to hell. Because it's a covenant. You have come to sign an agreement. This is what I will do. And you collect money. And you have not done what you are supposed to do. You are worse than a liar. See hellfire beside your leg. May God deliver you. Deliver excellent service. Don't pretend. This is my office. This is my house. It's just the next flat to each other. I noticed that when I open the door from the house to come to the office, somebody will just peep at the office and see that it is me, and they will go back. So sometimes I now call them. I say, why is it that every time you hear me lock the door, you are always coming to check? It means that you are doing something that I must not see. You are doing something that I must not know about. Is it that you are stealing company property, or you are making deals that you are not supposed to do? Whatever you are doing that I cannot see, God can see. And as believers, we must live our lives like that. That every time you're in an organization and you sit down on your seat in that organization, you should tell yourself, my boss is not here. My supervisor is not here. My manager is not here. But I am not answerable to any of them. I'm answerable to God. And whatever I can do when God is here is what I will do. Because I am not just working for them to bless me. I'm working for who to bless me? For God. So if you shortchange them, the God who needs to bless you is seeing that you are shortchanging them. And it's okay. So you feel that money is enough for you and go and live on it. And that's why so many people are not making progress in life. The money you collect from not offering excellent service, you cannot use it for anything meaningful. If you collect money for not rendering excellent service, you cannot use for anything meaningful. So check people who are doing like that. He collects that money. Because God's blessing is not upon that money, the devil opens opportunities for him or her to spend the money. He will just collect the money and he gets home. One of the child is sick. And he take the child to the hospital. And they say, pay 35,000 naira. And the money he cheated in the office is 25,000 naira. Is he thanking God for it? If I have not taken that money now, where will I see money to pay? He didn't know that it's the devil that is opening door to collect the money from him. So he pays 25,000 naira and it's only 10,000 naira. And the money he has before, they're supposed to use and enjoy himself. You now have to put on in it to balance the 25,000 naira to make 35,000 naira. So why are you doing it in the first place? That's why the Bible says, the blessings of the Lord make it rich. Without what? Without adding sorrow. If it is not the blessing of the Lord, it adds sorrow. Make a determination within yourself that everywhere I find myself, excellent service. Excellent service. That will not cheat my boss. Something happened between me and Pastor KG sometimes ago before he traveled out. It was December. Pastor KG Ajayi, he asked us to do one big banner for a very massive banner. The place was using as a church that time is in Ajayi Estate. Like one shopping hall, Amore Hall, 4 or 5-story building. He wanted a banner that would fill the length of that church from up to down. Very massive banner. And it was around December. So I went to, he gave us the job. And I went to where we print. Where we buy materials. And I bought material for that job. After I bought material for that job, the organization said this is December, that we are giving discount on whatever material is bought. That because we bought a lot of material, we are supposed to get like 50% discount on the material. So they gave us 50% discount on the material. So when we finished the job, I refunded Pastor KG the money, that 50% discount. He said, where's the money from? I said, where we went to buy material. They said we are good customers. And everything we buy in December, they'll give us 50%. And I refunded the money to him. He said, Pastor, that is not how to do business. He said, that money is not my own money as a pastor. It's your money. I said, no, they gave us the money on your job. He said, no, they did not give us the money on your job. They did not give you the money on my job. They gave you the money because you are a regular customer. I said, no, I'm not collecting it. And then we started to share it into 2, 50. That's how a businessman, a godly businessman thinks. That's how a godly businessman thinks. No, there are people that the church sends to go and buy something. Say, go and buy this television for us. It gets to where they are selling the television. Say, how much is television? They say, this one is smart screen, LED, flat screen. It's expensive, pay 500,000. He says 500,000 Abi. They say yes. They call. Hello, Pastor Lamde Ajayi. They said the television is 500,000 naira. They said, okay, I will send money to you. After they send money, they said, how much did you call the television that time? They said 500,000. I said, which 500,000 naira? This television. This one that if you go to that shop is 250. Give me 350 jare and negotiate and negotiate. Negotiate at 420,000 naira. 80,000 naira difference. He pockets it. Says the man said it's 500,000 naira. I have not lied. I've only told Pastor Malamide he has lied. He has what? He has stolen money. It's not human beings' money he has stolen, no. It's God's. People don't even fear. It's God's money he has stolen, no. And he said, Shebe me no shishe. Did I put my effort? Shebe I went from here. I took bike. I sweated. Keep sweating. May you not sweat all the days of your life. Deliver excellent service. Everybody say excellent service. The way some people are looking at me, I don't like it. Am I talking to you? Sorry. I won't step on your toes again. Okay, I will leave excellent service. For the last time, say deliver excellent service. Tell your neighbor, deliver excellent service. Because the God we serve is an excellent God. And if you claim to serve this God, anything less than excellent does not deserve. You are not doing it for your boss. You are not doing it for your employer. You are not doing it for the person who gave the job to you. You are doing it unto God. So number 1 is understand your job description. Number 2, learn to deliver excellent service. I used to know one artisan. His name is Perfect. There is no job he had done for me in life that was ever perfect. No job. No job. And his name is Perfect. I gave this suit to somebody to sew for me because I saw the color and I like the color. When he finished sewing the suit, half of the pocket is sewn inside. If I put my hand there now, it will end up fully. If I put my hand here, look at it. It's just 3 fingers that can enter. And when I told him, he said, Pastor, every mistake in design is another style. And his name is Perfect. Tell your neighbor, don't be like Brother Perfect. Don't be like Brother Perfect. Learn to deliver excellent service. If at any time you can't meet up with excellent service, tell the people who gave you the job, please, I have some challenges. This is what I need to do. But there are challenges that will not make me do at this level. What do you advise? Let them themselves now say, we don't want excellent service. I ask them to sign that there might be no, so that it won't be court case in the future. This is the quotation before. This is the design of the house. We want to change. What you said you want now, we have redesigned it. Just sign and endorse your name. That one, God knows it is not your fault again. And that is if you can't reject it and say you are not doing it at all. God knows it is not your fault again. Number 3. Always meet up with deadlines. Taylor, Eshima. Always meet up with deadlines. Fashion designer, meet up with deadlines. People who don't meet up with deadlines in life cannot make headlines in life. People who don't meet up with deadlines in life cannot make headlines in life. They will always be at the back. Always beat the expectation of the people you have promised to deliver. Meet up with deadlines. If you have promised your boss or your employer of labor or whoever that this thing will be delivered at so time, give yourself sleepless nights. Because one mark of a true believer is integrity. And integrity means you will keep to your words. When we get back to my last born, my wife decided that the boy should wear what I wore on the naming day. So I decided to sew the same clothes for me and my wife and gave this tailor to sew for the boy too. We have bought the material before he was born. So the day they gave birth to him, and it was fully confirmed that he was a boy. You know, at times, X-ray can show boy, and he did not come and be a girl. So waited for the birth. So when he came, and it was confirmed that he is a boy, we took the material to the tailor. He had sewn my own before that time, because my size cannot increase in 9 months of pregnancy. No matter the food my wife gives to me, I cannot be more than the cloth. So my own had been sewn. So we now gave material. He's a boy who sewed the material. The boy is going to wear the cloth on the naming ceremony day, which is next week, Sunday. He said, to be ready now. 3 days to naming ceremony. 2 days to naming ceremony. On the morning of the day of the naming ceremony, he said it will be ready before 4. Shebi, your naming is 6, Pastor. Why are you worrying? It's a small thing now. In 2 hours to be ready. So by 10 o'clock, my mind was off it. Because we were making preparations for all the other things. When I remembered at 4 o'clock, I sent somebody to him. He has closed shop and he has gone away. Inside the same estate. He's a Christian. Inside the same estate. He has closed shop and ran away. When we were going to see him like 3-4 days later, say, Pastor, something happened to his machine. He quickly went to go and repair it. You can imagine that my boy wore what he was not planning to wear on the naming ceremony day. The boy is almost 12 years. How old is he now? Young man, how old are you now? 12. You'll be 13 in December, abi? Eh? The boy is going to be 13 years this December. He has not brought the clothes. And his shop is still in the same estate. Eh? He's waiting till his wedding ceremony before he can. You are laughing at somebody who says, oh, now, your own too, somebody knew about it and they're laughing about it. They know the people I'm talking about. The tailor know the boy know the tailor in the same estate. It's just that the boy is hearing the story for the first time now in his life. I didn't tell him so that I won't use eyes to be looking at the tailor anyhow. Always learn to meet deadlines. If you are going to get a job, don't oversimplify what you need to do and say, if I can go 35-story building, give me the next 3 hours. 35-story building is ready. I come back on labor. They say, Benny, I tell you 5 for the bad. I'll come back lately. I'll come back lately. Okay, 1 minute. Learn to meet deadlines. Any job that wants to put you under pressure, that you will not meet deadlines, say no to it. Say, sorry, I can't do that one. In 2 weeks, I can't do. Add 1 more week. If they say you must do in 2 weeks compulsorily, calculate well. And say, can I really deliver this thing in 2 weeks? You know you can't deliver in 2 weeks. Tell them, no, if you are going to give it to me, it's 3 weeks. They say it's 2 weeks, walk away. God will provide your own. That means that one is not your own. Number 4. Engage yourself in constant additions to your destiny. Constant addition to your destiny. Constant addition to your life. Don't just stay at the level that you are. If they employ you as a laborer in an organization, don't just keep staying as a laborer. Self-educate and be improving on yourself. Be improving on yourself. Most organizations will prefer to promote somebody in that organization to a senior vacant seat than to bring somebody else from outside if the person inside is qualified. So what that means is that if you are in any organization and they need somebody at the superior level and they need to go out to go and bring somebody from outside, it means all the people there are useless. They have not improved on themselves. Give yourself a target. Ask yourself, in this organization, this is the peak that somebody at my level can get to. What are the requirements necessary to get to that peak? Begin to add it to your life. Self-educate. If you need to go to an evening school, go to an evening school. If you need to do a professional course, do a professional course. Keep educating yourself. Keep improving on yourself. Keep making things better for yourself. You are preparing yourself for a place that you self does not know. But God will open opportunity once He sees that you are prepared. Most people are relaxed when they are employed. They employ you at a particular level. You have bachelors. So they employ you with your bachelors. And you are okay with that. Masters, you are not going to get. Professional course, you are not going to get. You are just okay with that. That masters is useful now. Will it be useful to you in the next 10 years? If it won't be useful for you in the next 10 years, why not begin to look for what will be useful for you in the next 10 years and begin to plan your life towards it? I gave the people in my church a challenge. I told them, every tenure in Nigeria, his plate they will use and serve you, not cooler. So look at me. If they want to serve you his plate, they will use. That cooler is for everybody. Okay. Oh, yeah, say, Pastor, we are with you. Thank you for being with me. I told them in my church, I said, every tenure in Nigeria, when you have a president, how many years is tenure of a president? 4 years. I said, every tenure of a president, if he serves 1 term, should add something to your life. And coincidentally, it takes just 4 years to finish a degree in the university. You want to finish, you don't have BSc before. You want to have BSc. All things being equal. Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. So if somebody is lamenting today that this is the level where I'm supposed to be, I am not, and I'm not on that level because I don't have this qualification. Stop lamenting. Just set yourself a target and say, before the end of the first tenure of this president, I will have that degree. So that by the time the president is concluding his tenure, if first tenure does not work, second tenure will work. You will tell yourself, what I lacked during Buhari's time that did not make me get this position, I already have it during Tinubu's time. So that means that by the time the next tenure comes, whoever's time it is, maybe it's Lamidi Ajayi's time, by that time I will have it, and then I will not be lamenting again. There are people who cried during Jonathan's time and said the reason is because I have not gone to school. It's because I'm not educated. Is this my NCE? If it's not NCE I have now, if it is BSc I have, my life will be better than this. He cried during Jonathan's time. Jonathan's time finished. Buhari came the first 4 years. He still cried. It's because of this NCE. It's because of this NCE. Buhari finished first 4 years. Came for the second year. He's still crying. It's because of this NCE. It's because of this NCE. Tinubu started his first 4 years. And you are crying. It's because of this NCE. God is looking at you and saying, you are not just serious with your destiny. You can't bribe me with Christ. Constantly add something to your life. In fact, ensure that there's no tenure of any president in Nigeria that expires without you adding something to your life. You have pastors who are constantly adding to themselves. I heard sometimes that you were in LASU. You are doing masters in LASU. You are doing postgraduate LASU. And then she still went to another course in South Africa. Which one are you doing again? How can you have pastors who are adding to yourself and member is not adding to yourself? He cannot sink. You are increasing the gap between yourself and the pastors. As the pastors are adding to themselves, and God is creating bigger opportunity for them, you also should be adding to yourself. So God is creating opportunities to yourself, and you are moving closer to them. But if they are adding to themselves, and God is blessing them, you are not adding to yourself. You are at the same level. They are just growing. May you not remain at the same level. I didn't hear somebody say amen. May you not remain at the same level. Preach for me. Tell your neighbor, add to yourself, bro. Add to yourself, sister. And adding to yourself in this age is so easy. It's self-educating. Self-educate yourself. As in, you don't have to go to any school. Somebody said, the biggest university in the world today is YouTube. The biggest university in the world today is what? YouTube. There's nothing you want to learn that you cannot learn on YouTube. If you want to learn how to sew, it's on YouTube. You are a woman, you don't know how to cook. You want to learn how to cook for your husband, it's on YouTube. You are a man, you want to be a boxer. You don't know how to fight boxing, it's on YouTube. The only difference is that there's nobody to box your face physically so that you feel pain. But you can learn how to throw the jabs. But after learning how to throw the jabs, please go to the field. So that when you get to the ring, somebody will not throw you one jab and you faint at first knockout at round 1. But everything you want is on the YouTube. Some 4 years ago, I told Pastor Paul, I saw Pastor Paul in Inchi on TV, and he was playing sax. And he said he learned playing that sax in less than 1 year. And this man was about, I think 52 or 53 that year. I said, how can Pastor Paul in Inchi, at well over 50, learn how to play sax? And me, that is far younger than him, I don't know how to play sax. So I went to buy sax. I first spoke to Pastor Paul. He told me how much I will pay. I said the money is not the problem. But the problem is getting me to sit down for him to teach me. Because the only time I will have chance is late in the night. And that sax will disturb everybody in the neighborhood. So we couldn't fix a time for him to come and teach me. Something that just say, why not go to the YouTube? So I went to the YouTube and I watched. Then I tried the thing. I tried to blow it the first time. The thing did not blow well. I tried to blow again. After like 1 week, sound started coming out. I said this thing will start disturbing the neighbors. So I'll be playing one soft music underneath, and I'll be blowing. After 2 weeks, 3 weeks, after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, I saw that I was playing songs on YouTube. I said, from YouTube. Ask me who is my lecturer, engineer YouTube. Was what taught me. And I play, at least I can play one key. I can't play more than on that one key. I look for the simplest key That one that is the most simplest of all. I learned that one. So if I stand on this altar now, I say, give me key C. And I put sack like this. You will dance. Will you ask me to transpose or modulate to another key? What's your own? Are you my director? I will just play that one and you will dance. Who taught me? YouTube. And all of you have YouTube on your phone. But you have not used YouTube to watch anything meaningful in your life. When you carry YouTube, you are only looking for nonsensical thing that will just make you laugh. You watch the first one and laugh. Watch the second one and laugh. And then Nigeria, we like laughing a lot. You laugh and laugh and laugh. And YouTube know that what you are looking for is just to laugh. And the way those algorithms are created from the back end, they look at the kind of things you are looking at, the kind of things you are watching. And it's the kind of things you are watching they start introducing to you. Say this one like to laugh a lot. So you just watch Sabrina's. Hey, Sabrina's. Hey, Sabrina's. As you finish watching Sabrina's, they just bring another one. Tahoma. Hey, Tahoma. And I finish watching Tahoma. Hey, bring Jota. And I finish watching Brain Jota. Which one will they bring again? Daniela. Taniba. Because they know that is what you want to watch. But if you sit down, you say, I want to learn. What's that thing that you always think? I want to learn Montessori method of education. And you sit down with it. I mean, it's not Montessori, they call it. Say that they always recite as if they are making incantation. Please forgive me. It's not Abokodo. My generation will not read Abokodo. We read A, B, C, D. That one you can dance to it. Somebody can play drums and say A, B, C, D, E, G, H, I, J, K, L. And you can dance to it. But I know you can dance to Abokodo, but I have not learned the dance steps yet. So when you go to the YouTube and say, what is Montessori method of teaching? And you sit down, you watch it. After you finish watching that one, how do I learn Montessori method of teaching? Before you know it, every time you open YouTube, you just be flashing it in your face. Flashing it in your face. And by the time you are reading, you are learning, you are reading, you are learning. You are self-educating. The problem with most people is that all of your life, you have not self-educated. All of your life, you have sat down under a physical teacher. Somebody will sit down inside class, an old chalk, and say, what is today's date? What's today's date? Talk to me now. What's today's date? 8th of August 2024. What topic did I teach you the last time? Photosynthesis. You, remind me what I said about photosynthesis. I know you were not in the class. You will not know it. You, the Pharaoh, that's the one you are used to. The one that will batter you, embarrass you, and do you anyhow. That's why they say you are rugged in Africa. But the one you will sit down yourself, that will not bring in all the bad things, that will just teach you. And you are sitting down taking notes. You are learning. That one you are not used to. That is the problem of Africa. Self-educate. Tell yourself, I'm giving myself the next 6 months. I want to learn this particular thing. And you are doing it, you are watching it every day. You are watching it. Before you know, after I learned how to play sax, and I saw it was easy for me, I wanted my children to learn how to play keyboard. We bought like 6 or 7 different keyboards in the house. None of them learned. The first girl did not learn. The second girl did not learn. The third boy was not showing any serious interest. So I went to YouTube. I downloaded videos on how to play keyboard. And I asked them to sit in the sitting room. Put the flash on the, if I give them on phone, they can pretend they are watching and they are doing something else and I won't know. And I didn't ask them to go to the internet. I downloaded on flash. Put it on the sitting room TV. All of us will sit down. Oya, be watching. After the thing has been, Oya, replay. Be watching. Then the last one took interest. After he has watched severally, started playing some small sounds. And before you know it, he was already playing in church. I didn't teach him. Nobody taught him. Self-education. There are things you can add to your life as a professional that it is free of charge. You are not supposed to pay for it if you don't want to pay for it. There are online courses you can do in recognized university, EDX. Go online, check EDX, check Coursera. There are courses you can do for free that you are not required to pay, that you only pay if you want their certificate. If you don't want the certificate, the courses are there for free, that the same people who are paying $2,000 every month are paying. You are there to access it free of charge. But you will never think about that one. What will you think about TikTok? What will you think about Instagram? And put yourself under pressure. You watch Instagram and see one girl snap picture in front of a car. Then next week, snap another picture in front of another car. Say, God, why is my home like this? All my mates are buying car every day. Me, I have not had money to buy a car. That girl is not a car. She was just passing beside one car. And she stopped passing around this car. I said, this one is nice. And she snapped. The next day, stop passing this car. He snapped. And that is what you are allowing to put yourself under pressure. May God forgive you. Number what are we? Number 4, self-educate. Number 5, be creative. Be creative. Think outside the box. I need to rush this now. Think outside the box. Add creativity to whatever you are doing. Most workers today are static in their operations. They just learn one way. And that one way they have learned is all they know. So if she is a tailor, why am I talking about tailor today? Mommy, you are the one that put tailor in my mouth too. You are the one that put tailor in my mouth too. If he's a fashion designer, if she sew wedding gown for the mother 35 years ago, and you ask her to sew wedding gown for the daughter of the person she sewed wedding gown for 35 years ago, it's the same way she will sew it. Because that is the only style her boss taught her. She has not had anything. She is not creative about it. If it's a carpenter, there is only one way he knows how to do things. They are not going to think that if I change this thing this way, what will come out of it? What is reigning this in the world now, in this generation, is thinking outside the box. Not just doing things the normal way people do it. Challenging existing status quo. This fan now, if you look at it, has only one blade. One blade, Abi. When I was growing up, fans don't have one blade. They have 4 or 5 so that they can blow people very well. But somebody came out and said, why must we waste the number of blades and put 5 blades in a fan? One is enough. So if you look at this, it's just one. And it's the thing blowing or not, it's blowing. Because somebody was creative. If you go to church some 15, 20 years ago, you will not see this kind of chairs in church. 20, 25 years ago, what you see is a long bench. If the church is now rich, that bench will have somewhere you can rest your back. If he's now richer, he has a place where you can put your leg. If he's now richer, the one in front has a place where you can kneel down if they ask you to kneel. And has something at the back where you can put your Bible. One bench can sit like 7, 8 persons. That was how it was then. But somebody started thinking, so why not let's get creative? Let's get creative. And they brought single chair. Later we started using the white chairs. And the white chairs started changing color. So say, are we going to throw them away? Vim cannot wash them. What can we do? They said, let's put a camouflage on it. Then we put camouflage. And it became more beautiful. Tell your neighbor, be creative. Be creative. Learn to think outside the box. Don't just regiment your orientation. Don't just regiment your thinking. Ask yourself, everybody is doing it this way. If I decide to just do one small thing in another way, will it work? And try it and see whether it will not work. Be creative. We had a prayer service in church last week Sunday, and it was awesome. We invited one major minister called T-Praise. Awesome, powerful. After the praise and worship session, I called all of my choirs together. I told them, when T-Praise was coming, he said I wanted to bring his band. I told him not to bring his band. He said, okay, I shall allow him to bring his keyboardist and his drummer. I said, no, just come alone. It's you I want to come and minister to the people. I said, I know why I called him alone. So you know why I called him alone? They said no. I said I wanted to see your capacity. So how many people enjoyed that praise worship session? Everybody said it was wonderful, it was wonderful. I said, look at you. When T-Praise was singing, it was our instrument he used. Our keyboardist he used. Our drummer he used. Our backup singer he used. All the songs he sang are the songs that all of you know. What makes the difference? Why are you not singing and we're enjoying it like that? Why do I have to go and pay somebody hundreds of thousands of naira to come and sing the same song we know, with the same backup we have, and with the same instrumentalists that we have? It shows you have not developed yourself. He was creative about it. The same song we always sing, we will just sing it in one kind of way. He said, everybody do like this. Another of us do like this. I do like this. Yeah, begin to move your leg. And I say, oh yeah, go. Oh, another of us will begin to dance. I've seen we have not heard the song before. Just because he asked us to raise our hand. You too, can you not ask us to raise our hand? Have you asked me to do it before I say you shouldn't do it? Tell your neighbor, be creative, Joe. You didn't say it. Say, I am annoyed with you. Be creative. Be creative. Be creative. Creativity attracts men of quality to your life. Because men of quality want something that is different from what every other person is doing. Men who have means, they want a class. They just want something that is unique. They don't want to have what common people have. So if somebody has money very well now, he tell you to come and buy land in this place. Say, I don't want this area. They say, where do you want? Say, I want Banana Island. Banana Island is water. He will first buy water at a very unreasonable amount of money. Will now go and buy sand from somewhere else and come and fill it. And after he has filled it, we now spend serious money to do piling. All the money he's spending to do the piling has built 3-story building here. Why is he looking for that one? He wants something unique. If you to what you are doing, just one little difference, you see the kind of people will be patronizing you. The reason people are not patronizing you is because there are 10 of you on your street doing the same thing. Everybody is doing it the same way. So whether they patronize you or not, they don't miss anything.